Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Feed Me Friday. How's everyone doing? Let's see. I was listening to a talk by Paul Mason this morning. He was talking about cholesterol, and I like to listen to a lot of talks about cholesterol. Some of them are easy to understand. Some of them are just really complicated. But I was thinking about how, we're told for years and years that the saturated fat that we eat is what raises the cholesterol in our system. It's interesting because once you get going and you start learning, it's like, no, that's not what causes high cholesterol in the system. This fat does not turn into cholesterol in the system. I mean, that would actually be very strange when you think about it. Because the scrambled eggs has fat in it, and that the scrambled eggs aren't going into my veins. You could eat broccoli, and broccoli isn't going into your veins. It's your system has to repackage stuff and then send it out to be distributed. So you can eat the saturated fat, but your body doesn't take this saturated fat and put it in your bloodstream. It's your liver that is working to repackage what you eat to deliver it where it needs to go. So anyway, I was thinking too, like all those years ago when my poor dad, he was told that he had high cholesterol. So he went hardcore. He did low fat. And I've talked about this story several times where it's like he was trying to do everything that they had told him to do. And when he went back, his cholesterol was up. And the thing is, I remember also later on when he tried Atkins, that was the only diet that lowered his cholesterol. So it's like, what on earth? And everyone knows, of course, well, I think they should know. Atkins was a high-fat diet. You're eating all this saturated fat, you're eating all this meat, you're eating all this dairy and stuff, and, why didn't his cholesterol go up? Now, some people do have their cholesterol go up when they're on that kind of diet, but it's not the food that's doing that. It's not the food that's causing it to go up. And actually, I did look this up a while ago, and I found study saying, and it's not just a study says that, this is, cardiologists know this, at least some of them do. Study saying that eating a diet of saturated fat does not raise the serum cholesterol. So yeah, hang on, I'm trying to calculate. Okay, that should be enough. Anyway, it's frustrating, though, trying to get people to understand, but it's because we've been told for so long. It's not frustrating to try to get people to understand. It's understandable that this is not an easy topic to parse and pick out and figure out, and there's so many layers and complexities to it, and it's not a straightforward topic, which if it was, this turns into fat in your bloodstream, that is actually pretty straightforward, but that's not what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna wash my hands and get some coffee. Coffee is chocolate hazelnut and caramel pecan with butter, heavy cream, and salt. So anyway, moving on to LDL, or talk about more LDL stuff. I was thinking about metabolic syndrome, and how now metabolic syndrome is something that the doctors know about. They do know that you're supposed to have 3 out of 5 of those things in place. So it should be large waist circumference, high blood sugars, high triglycerides, high blood pressure, and then low HDL. Total cholesterol and LDL isn't even mentioned, because if they just look at the LDL, that does not point to heart disease. You have to have other factors in there mixed in that point to heart disease. And it's just always been interesting to me how the doctors will look at just that one single number and be like, oh, we need to get you on a statin to get that lowered, to lower your risk. It's like, yeah, but if you do the research into that too, which I would highly recommend doing, David Diamond has a lot of research about the fancy number shifting that they've done to try and make it seem as though you get more of a benefit from taking a statin than you actually do. There's also a thing, I'm trying to remember which one it was. They came out with the cholesterol recommendations, I think it was in 1987, and then they came out with the statin the very next year. Or it was vice versa. I don't remember. But the people who are putting out the recommendations for what your cholesterol number should be are the people who are making the statins, which is ridiculous. So I mean, like, thinking something like that through, it's like, it makes me think of the recommendations for diabetics. So it's like they'll say, oh, if you have a blood sugar, just keep it under 180 and you're safe, where over 140 is when damage starts. Or they'll say an A1C of 6 is fine when you've got people that are starting to get retinopathy at 5.4. So it's like, okay, as long as you're at 6, then you're going to need insulin to keep the numbers down. So, yeah. For anyone who's new, this is cheesy scrambled eggs and steak. I keep the steak in the freezer and then I'll take some out, and then that way it'll thaw overnight. And then there was a nice big chunk of fat there. That was from, I made grilled steak yesterday. Massive batch of grilled steak, and I let it like sit out for a while after it's done cooking, so that all the liquids and stuff will catch in the bottom of the pan. Then I boil that down and I'll add some butter to it, and oh my goodness, it's fabulous. So that's what I threw in there. So I'm at 93 grams right now. I normally like to have about 100 per meal. I'm gonna add just a little bit more butter. Perfect, 99. And some salt. And that's going to be it for now. I'll catch you guys when I get another cup of coffee. Second cup of coffee. This is whoopie pie and Ethiopian light roast with heavy cream, butter, and salt. Lunch is some chicken salad and some Havarti cheese. Coffee is Scottish grog. That was not a good accent at all. Scottish grog with butter, heavy cream, and some salt. So here we are the next day. I have to tell you guys what's been going on. So yeah, I did not eat dinner last night. I didn't have any snacks. I am 100% going through perimenopause. It's not just the skipped periods it's letting me know. It's the weird hormonal fluxes that I get. Yeah, it's been, oh my goodness. I think I started like 4 years ago, but it's been like a gradual build towards this point. But anyway, the whole thing I wanted to share was, yeah, so I haven't been hungry for dinner for like the last week, like at all. Now there were a few times where I did force it. I had something anyway. And, I mean, you guys see how much I eat. So it's like, technically, I think I should be hungry. I mean, you know, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, the times that I forced it, I got sick. to my stomach that night. Like it just, ugh. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine, I won't eat. So that's what I have been doing. Now I'm always hopeful that I'm gonna start feeling hungry again. It's not like I'm sick, but it's just my stomach's kind of like, don't put anything else in. There's no room. You need to stop. So okay, yeah. So I didn't eat last night, and this morning I'm good and hungry. I'm ready to go. So my plan is moving forward. I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm not real worried about it. It's like technically I could probably lose like another 7 to 10 pounds, and that I think would be okay for my body. But I thought if it continues, if this becomes a regular thing where this is just how it is now, I might increase the amount of calories I have for breakfast and lunch. So, and then also try to eat lunch like more around 2. So it's like I would have more for breakfast, then I would have more for lunch, and I think that would be enough calories because I can't drop too low. I currently weigh 127 right now. So 127, 125, that's my standard stable numbers. But yeah, if I drop below that, I don't want to get too skinny. I never thought that would be a thing I'd have to worry about, honest to goodness. So, but yeah, we'll see. So anyway, that was all I wanted to tell you guys, just so you didn't think I forgot to film last night. I didn't. I just wasn't hungry. And I'll let you guys know next week what the deal is and how things are going. So that is all I'm going to say, though. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. This video is brought to you by my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, who is with me during this time and showing me what to do, and I'm going to trust him. He's got everything you need and nothing you don't. Bye.